Democratic Alliance councillors will be returning to work in the Tshwane Metro. This after the Supreme Court of Appeal ruled in favour of the party. Gauteng Cooperative Government's MEC Lebogang Maile dissolved the DA coalition government in March this year. Tshwane Chief Administrator Mpho Nawa joins us to reflect on the ruling and discuss his time as an administrator. Very good morning to you. What is your response to the ruling?
Well, I think we should respect the justice, our justice system, and I'm sure we have went through this process, and I'm happy that they've come to the decision they've arrived to, so there will not be a problem for us.
All right, okay, I'm glad you say that with confidence, because it's been a problem for a while. I know that you're going to be choosing a mayor on Friday. Will everybody be there as well? I know everyone is supposed to. I believe the EFF is still deliberating.
Well, I'm not certain about political parties. It will be very difficult to comment whether they will all be there, but I'm aware that the council meeting has been called for election of the mayor.
All right, so what happens next?
Well, it will depend on how. You remember, part of the problem of the intervention was precisely because council couldn't sit. There was no mayor and no mayoral committee for almost a 4-month process. There was no municipal city manager, and therefore the provincial government gave that the city is unable to take over the executive obligations, and that's why there was an intervention. So the intervention came precisely because there was a failure to observe council meetings, council processes, and that's why there was an intervention. So I would imagine that this time around, councillors will be ready to take their work serious and make what is expected out of them.
Okay, I mean, there's been almost 8 months of a lack of leadership. I mean, how will councillors, how will everybody work together now in order to do their jobs, basically, which is to provide, one small side of it, but an important one, services to people living there?
Well, I mean, the administrators have put up a good base. I think there's been stability in the city. There wouldn't be a problem there in the service delivery, but generally the city has run. I mean, in the last 3 or 4 or 5 months, we've held more than 300 council meetings. It's unprecedented that in a period of 3 months you can have so many meetings. And decisions have been made. There's budget processes, there's been IDP, there's reviews. There's so much discussion that has happened in the last at least 6 months. So I would imagine that the councillors can take advantage of the foundation we've created and then run the city in a way. That's a capital city, and I'm sure we call them upon them to take their work serious.
And what are you looking for when it comes to a mayor who's in the running?
As I said earlier, the difficulty is that I am unable to comment on political processes. Remember, I came more as an administrator, and by definition, I'm not supposed to be partisan or take sides. So I really wanted to observe that I'm not drawn into political fightings.
Right, so names in the hat that you can tell us about, because I'm sure that's clearly important.
Well, I would imagine every party has an interest. Remember that part that the DA said they are a majority party. Even all of us know that they are not a majority, but they are dependent on others if they are to take over the executive authority of the city. So I doubt that the EFF will go with them. This time around, I'm sure across the city, the country would have seen that the political underpinnings of the two parties are far from each other. So I don't see how they can come together. There's a likelihood that if some political maturity can come on board, there could be a multi-party authority. It will also be unprecedented that the parties are coming together in the interest of the people of Tshwane. So I would encourage them to see through that they go through a proper process where they negotiate and get to see. I mean, the term is left with more than a year, so they can do better to pull the city
And as you
together.
say, it should be in the interests of the people of Tshwane. Mpho, Nawa, very good to talk to you. Thank you.